Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode here of our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode Race 2 of the round of 12 set to kick off here today. Of course, 12 drivers remain in the playoffs, and today we're going to have a good idea of who's going to be in trouble and who will be in good shape going into the eliminator race in the Charlotte road course. But today, Texas Motor Speedway, a track that I've got a history of struggling at, so I'm not really expecting great things here today. We come in 28 points above the cut line. We're tied at the top of the board. 3 drivers actually tied at the top. Myself, Larson, and Busher, all 28 points to the good. Last episode we saw, one of the title favorites, the regular season dominator, who did not win the regular season championship, but had 5 wins in the regular season. Chase Elliott, he had a tire failure. That puts him in a bit of a sticky situation coming into today. He needs to make sure he has a good result today, otherwise he could be in trouble going into Charlotte in that next episode for that elimination race. We have more silly season news as well today. So in the field today in a third Andretti car in the number 98 is Sammy Smith. And on top of that, Andretti Global announcing that Sammy Smith will be full-time in place of Corey LaJoie at Andretti next season, who of course will be going to Hendrick Motorsports in the number 48 car. So Sammy Smith full-time Cup Series competition next season. So there's another domino that has fallen. The big one is the Marashank Racing team right now, the brand new team coming to the grid next season. Who's going to be behind the wheel of that number 06 car? We'll have to wait and see. Daniel Suarez still has not found a ride. I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see him end up there, or maybe even in Xfinity. We'll have to wait and see. But here in qualifying in Texas, rolling through 1 and 2 okay, 3 and 4 as well. The goal on the top right there with 29.627. We exit turn 4 a little bit sideways right there on the exit of the corner, but we're going to come through to cross the line with a 29.771. That puts us P19 in the Auto Trader 400 here from Texas Motor Speedway. So yeah, not exactly what we're looking for. Texas is often a difficult racetrack for myself. Christopher Bell on pole over the winless William Byron, Chastain, Logano, Elliott all up there in the top 5. Suarez in the top 10 as well. A solid qualifying effort there for him before his departure at the end of the season with Trackhouse Racing. Sammy Smith in his debut all the way down in P39 there in front of Ryan Vargas. Truck Series racing was this weekend as well. No Xfinity Series, they were off, but trucks, they were in Talladega, and we actually saw Tate Fogelman win over Tony Bradinger here for the victory in the Sugarlands Shine 250 now, as we're going to get ready to go racing Sunday in Texas.
We're live from Texas Motor Speedway, set for race 2 of the round of 12. We saw title favorite Chase Elliott lose a tire and crash last week in Iowa. Today is a big week for this team, guys.
A huge week, Rick. Their season is on the line and will be either made or broken today, depending on what happens for them.
And Texas isn't a great track for Chase statistically. They have their work cut out today. And on top of that, look for Truex and Byron. They are both in need of good runs today.
All right, boys, it's been a good week last week, surprisingly. It allows us to come in with a nice, comfortable gap today, so I'm just going to give it everything I got and try to keep that gap as big as we can.
You got this, man. We'll stay on top of things all day.
We got our first top 10 of the playoffs last episode. You know, of course, not agreeing right now with colleague. We actually haven't visited the colleague shop directly since regular season, obviously, after the whole beef with Watkins Glen and going into Daytona with the regular season finale and whatnot. So it's been a while, but we've moved on and we're ready to just focus in. We got a brand new paint scheme here. Campers in RV, Cachinero with this one up. Absolutely fantastic paint scheme as usual. A lot of schemes have already been made for next season, and I can't wait for you guys to see what people have whipped up here from Tyler, Tinsley, Sanok, Cachinero, DMoney, Paj as well. They have been absolutely going insane with some of the paint schemes that have been in the works for this season 3 of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Not sure yet. Season 3 could be the final season. It really just depends on if you guys continue to support the career mode or not. So we really won't know till later, about halfway probably through season 3, if we'll get another one or not after that. Perfect world, we could continue this up until, you know, when NASCAR 2025 comes out, but I mean, who really knows at this point how that's all going to go. 3 wide on the run down towards turn 1, 19 laps here in stage 1. Pole winner Christopher Bell leads the way right now over Chastain. We're 3 wide with the 19 and the 41. Truex, a very quiet playoff and not looking so hot coming into this race. He needs a good run today. really, Joe Gibbs Racing, it's been kind of the Christopher Bell show in the playoffs there, but a contact with the playoff contender of Keselowski. But Hamlin and Truex have been kind of quiet in the playoffs so far, but they've had enough consistency to advance. The first round, not really hard to advance through, but the second round, they definitely need to get after it here. That's for sure now as we continue trying to move our way forward. Up to P16, following Truex, now passing Suarez, who qualified in the top 10. Check out that Quaker State scheme. That was actually made by Paj. Looks absolutely fantastic. Now, his actual name's Pac Gigli on Discord, but we're going with Paj for short. But it looks absolutely spectacular now, as you can see. Keselowski fighting back. Keselowski was runner-up last episode in Iowa. Really would have loved to get that win, but it was Alex Bowman instead getting his first win of this season, really giving him some momentum for when he replaces me in the 16 car now as we are continuing to move through. Up the inside of Ryan Blaney, but the caution's going to come out early on here in stage 1, and it's Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs has blown a tire, and that is going to maybe be the end of the day, not 100% sure for Gibbs here now, as he has had a lot of speed recently, but just no luck. He had a failure in the last episode that took him out of that race as well. So caution flies. Can confirm Gibbs not out of the race. Gibbs is still in and racing here, just of course from the back of the grid now. Blaney on my outside. Ryan Blaney has yet to finish in the top 10, I believe, since he's come back from his concussion, but he's of course really not here to, I would say, win races. He's really here to just kind of get back into the swing of things and focus in on next season's, efforts now and try to support his teammate of Joey Logano right now in his playoff run. And speaking of Logano, there he is, a row ahead now in that Tyler Tinsley Pennzoil machine. It looks absolutely fantastic as well, but the silver variant here, I really enjoyed the platinum car. But here comes Ryan Preece up my inside. We've been talking recently about the improvements from Stuart Haas Racing. Now we have seen specifically the 41 and the 4 seem to be the ones that are able to find a little bit more pace than usual, so definitely pay attention to those cars going into next season. But look at my mirror right now. I was talking about the 41 and the 4. We got the 14 of Chase Briscoe in my mirror as well, so don't rule out that number 14 car. As of right now, it is looking like we're going to see Briscoe back at that team. I mean, of course, at the beginning of the season, SHR said, of course, we're downsizing to 2 cars, and the drivers that will remain hired by our team are going to be the 2 highest finishers in points. But of course, Ryan Preece is departing the team, going to Rick Ware Racing, so that kind of changes things. And it looks like right now it's going to be Briscoe and Barry that remain, and then Harrison Burton, really his future is up in the air about what's going to happen there. But now coming to the final couple laps of stage 1, and I was starting to fade. My handling of the car was going away. I was starting to slip and slide. I was really tight at the beginning of the run, very similar to Iowa, really tight at the start, really loose at the end. We come to the final lap now of stage 1. William Byron leading the way, but the caution's going to come out here to end the stage about 3/4 of a lap early, and William Byron is going to get the stage win. And we've talked about him being winless all season long. Is he going to pull a Kyle Larson type situation where, he wins late in the season? However, when Larson got his win last season, he was already out of the playoffs after he picked up that win in Miami. Larson, of course, a 2-win season so far for that number 5 now, as we're going to come in and fill this car up with fuel, 4 tires as well. I did make some adjustments as Corey LaJoie gains 2 spots in the pits there. We remain in P15 as we're ready to go back racing for stage number 2. We are back underway here from Texas Motor Speedway. William Byron set to lead the field back to the green now, right to the back of the 31-hour teammate of Daniel Hemrick. Colleague looking pretty good today. If I'm Alex Bowman, although I'm losing my ride at Hendrick Motorsports, I wouldn't be too disappointed about going to Colleague. Colleague has been looking very good in these recent weeks now. We've seen the 31 running pretty well, better than he has all season. We've seen Allmendinger as well being pretty competitive, so I don't think it's going to be really that bad of a deal for Alex Bowman, honestly. I think he can do good things with Colleague Racing, and now he's got a win again under his belt here from Iowa last episode, really proving, hey, he can still get the job done. Speaking of speed, to the lead, Allmendinger, but in contact with the 23. He goes sideways into turn 1. He saved it though. What a save, and he actually keeps the momentum, keeps it pinned on my right door right there on the exit of turn 2, and he's going to try and move forward now. I'm really definitely struggling with the handling here. Like I said at the beginning of this run, it's just too tight, and you can see the 48 actually able to get to my outside, and he forces it 3 wide briefly between myself as well as Bubba Wallace now. now as we approach the end of lap 3. Bubba goes through on the outside. Bowman going to go through as well here, and we would drop down to P16. Now under pressure from Blaney behind us, Kyle Busch as well, and a fellow playoff competitor of Tyler Reddick to the lead now. However, it's 17 of Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher, at this point, you've got to think Buescher is going to be a Final Four favorite. What if Chase Elliott is a caution? Comes out for another time here today. What if Chase Elliott gets knocked out in this round of the playoffs here? That would be huge in opening up a potential unexpected Final Four spot. It looks like Stenos brings out the caution here in stage 2. Nobody coming into the pits because we can make it to the end. So we'll get ready to go back racing here from this second stage from 16th place. But yeah, I mean, we look at favorites right now. We haven't really seen a favorite knocked out of the playoffs yet. I'm looking at Elliott, Larson, Buescher, and then Chastain as the favorite for the Final Four. Currently now, as we're back underway, the 48's not going, and I got into the back of him, and that absolutely destroyed the speed in my number 16, and we are going to plummet like a rock here now. The 42 to the inside, the 45 going to split me to the top, Busch to the inside as well, and just like that, boom, we're outside of the top 20 here from Texas. Now Allmendinger leads the way down the back straightaway towards turn 3. We'll use that draft from Kyle Busch to allow me to get clear of the 43 of Eric Jones into turn 3. Just behind him, we got Austin Hill, as we are very much so expecting a RCR announcement in the coming episodes about his potential future with the team. Of course, with Kyle Busch leaving that 8-car. Busch with 1 win on the season from Michigan, made the playoffs, and actually ran very strong in the playoffs. However, just wasn't able to make up enough points after his tire failure in the first race at Darlington, or engine failure, I think it was actually. But Austin Hill up my inside here as we go through 3, so he's actually moved into the top 20. A great run from the Cup Series part-time rookie right there, and I'm sliding on the exit of turn 4, catching the outside wall. Busch slips through into the top 20. He goes in that quick trip, number 8 Chevrolet Camaro, and here comes Ty Gibbs, new leader as well, Martin Truex Jr., but Ty Gibbs trying to rally back from that tire failure. He's up to P21, and he would continue to march forward as Allmendinger would retake the lead from Truex. In my battle with Kyle Busch continues, but look what's different. The 20 car, gone. He's headed up there another couple positions now. Corey LaJoie just in front of us as well in P20, but Chris Buescher out in front here in these closing moments of stage 2. Now Tyler Reddick up my inside as we continue to struggle a little bit here for pace, just like at the end of stage 1. Really struggling to find the pace now as we come to the final lap of the stage. To the outside of that 45, not quite able to actually make anything happen right there, and it's all Chris Buescher who leads the way down the back straightaway. We saw his strengths in Iowa. He was able to win a stage in Iowa, and he's going to repeat that and win a stage here today in Texas. Out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, Chris Buescher wins stage number 2. We're going to be down in P23, not looking good, and this is why I'm glad we had such a good run in Iowa to get that first top 10 of the playoffs, because with a poor run there and then the run we're having today, things would have not been looking good. I need help here, boys. I mean, I can't do anything.
We'll take a swing at it here. Hang in there.
I've been hanging in here all playoff long. The team just doesn't care about us.
I know, man. Not much we can do. Just focus in for me.
And you hear our conversation with our crew chief. Speaking of crew chiefs, it does sound like we will actually be working with James Small next season in the 19 car, Joe Gibbs Racing, when we head over to that machine and pilot that number 19 Toyota. Now, stage number 3 underway from 22nd place. It's not been an easy race, and it's kind of the form that we've been in the first round, carried over into race 2 of round 2, where it's just not enough speed to be in the top 10 for stage 1. It's not enough speed to just be in the top 10 at all at the end of the race now, and we're going to have to get creative. What did we do in Iowa to get the finish that we did? Well, we got creative with the strategy, with the cautions that presented opportunities. Today is going to take the exact same situation. We're going to need some cautions timed at a decent time to get a little bit creative with strategy to allow us to have an opportunity to rebound to a solid finish to put us in a good position on points going into the Charlotte Roval. And the Charlotte Roval has proven it can go either way for me. We can go out there and we can win the race, or we can go out there and we can run 20th at the end. So you don't really know what to expect at the Charlotte Roval. It's such a chaotic race. race, but at the same time, such a fun race. I mean, it's hard to believe there's actually fans out there that hate the Charlotte road course. I find that absolutely baffling. Now, as we continue on here, lap 45, Allmendinger continues to lead. He's in a bit of a fight with Chris Buescher. Buescher up there in second, trying to put some pressure on. I'm in the battle with the RCR duo of Austin Dillon as well as Kyle Busch here. Now as we come through one out of turn two, we clear the number 3. We get alongside that quick trip machine down this back straightaway. Reddick there in front of us in P19. I think Reddick is going to find himself in a probably must-win scenario considering how he is running here today. Now as we have a crash behind, that's Justin Haley into the outside wall. Suarez with a piece of it, a big hit on the door there. That's a 38 of Todd Gilliland getting involved as well. The caution flies. Is this an opportunity? It is. We're going to come in, and this is really close on field, but we have Suarez, Vargas, and Gilliland all electing to stay on track. I took 4 tires while everybody else takes 2, but now we have 3 slower cars up front, including one of the cars that just wrecked of Gilliland. That could be problematic, and it is going to be problematic immediately. Look at the stack up it's causing. Everybody's hitting the brake pedal. Suarez is gone, and I believe a few other cars have gotten away with him, but look at this absolute mess right here. This is going to throw a huge curveball into how this race is going to unfold for not only us, but for other playoff contenders as well. Allmendinger was one of the few that got away to the lead. Look at us slipping through on the inside. That 38 of Gilliland is stacking up everybody, including Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. The big one is Elliott, however, outside the top 20 now in a race where he needs to finish well to make sure he's good in the points, and he continues to fall down the order, and we're continuing to move forward. We go to the inside of the number 9, and that is not good if you're a Chase Elliott fan. He might be going into the Charlotte road course in a bit of trouble, to say the least. Sammy Smith on the outside of myself and Ross Chastain as we come through now to the back of the 38 of Gilliland. I was so annoyed at the 38 in this moment. I hate when the AI do this, so I door slam him down the back straight away. Obviously, it's an AI, doesn't care, doesn't have feelings, but I do it anyways now. Into the top 20 on lap 53, but goodness gracious, things have unfolded very quickly, and I guess you could say derailed for the number 9 team. Now we'll have to pay close attention to the 9 and see if they can rebound, but there's only 15 laps to go. I mean, that couldn't have really happened at a worse point in time in the race. Into the outside wall on the exit of turn 2 there. I just got so tight on the exit of the corner. Somehow we don't lose anything, and Chase Elliott's right there in our rear view mirror, so he's still running about 21st, 22nd place now. As you can see, John Hunter Nemechek would get to my inside, lap 55, and we continue to struggle to move forward now as Chastain, Blaney, they're going to split me. Elliott still behind us now. Are we about to be 4 wide? Just about, but Vargas keeps himself planted in front of that one of Chastain. We continue in this fight now into the top 20, and the caution flies again here in Texas, and some are pitting, and one of those is going to be me, because we are looking at this as our opportunity to get a little bit creative with strategy. So we'll come in and quite simply throw 4 tires on the car, but we're not the only one coming into the pits here. Suarez is pitting, but Chase Elliott is the big one. Elliott as well is pitting. Allmendinger, Buescher the front row for the restart. Truex, Gibbs, Bell, the rest of the top 5. Gibbs has had a heck of a rebound here. But Elliott down in 39th place. That's a bold move for the 9 to pit. Not quite sure why Elliott decided to come in. But how is this going to play a role here now in this finish of this race in his playoff scenario now as we are back underway here from Texas? It will be 8 laps to go here from the second race of this round of 12 now. I think we've got a good opportunity to move forward and pick up maybe a few extra positions. We were, what, P20 at the time of the caution, and we were struggling to hang on at that point. So if we can get the 20th or anything better than that, we take that as a victory now as we are already slicing through up the inside of Harrison Burton in the number 10 car. There's Sammy Smith on his outside, right to the back of the 15 of the inside. Going to really use him up a little bit on the exit of 4. Tyler Reddick just in front of us as well. He would be 3 wide down the back straight away up the inside of the 3, and as well Carson Hocevar in the 26, and then we would slip through on the inside up at a P25, 24. 24, now 23, going for 22nd, looking for 21st on Josh Berry here in these closing moments of this race. Now, as we have just 5 laps to go, and we have made a heck of a call with this tire strategy. Now up into P19, looking to the outside of LaJoy. It's Allmendinger that continues to lead. Allmendinger looking for that first win this season. Can he pull it off now, as we at Colleague only have 3 wins, and they've all come from myself, Martinsville, Sonoma, and Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen, of course, had a little bit of fuel strategy involved in there, but we continue on up into the top 15. Now, how much further can we take this number 16 machine? Well, we took it up to John Hunter Nemechek up the inside into turn 3, approaching 2 laps to go. Elliott has made nowhere close to the progress that I've been able to make, but it's 2 laps to go for AJ Allmendinger. We continue side by side with Nemechek all the way to the exit of turn 2, where I kind of really forced him to back out of it. I use him up quite a bit, but coming to the final lap here in Texas is AJ Allmendinger leading the way on the exit of turn 4. However, there is a car pressuring him, and from here it looks like there might actually be a car looking to his inside as we cross the stripe. White flag in the air. Yes, there is a car on Allmendinger's inside, but who is it? It's Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs in the 54. We've talked about it. He missed the playoffs in his first 2 seasons. Hasn't found victory lane yet, but he's really been showcasing a lot of speed and talent lately, and it's finally about to turn into a victory, it looks like, through 3 and 4. It's been a round of no playoff winners so far with Bowman in Iowa, and that continues today. Ty Gibbs, first career win from Texas Motor Speedway, as he joins me in winning in their 2nd season of their Cup Series career. We cross the line for 14th. You know, not a great day, but a better day than what it was looking to be. Gibbs and Allmendinger, the top 2. Truex, the best playoff finisher. Byron as well, who came in below the cut line, I think is going to be above the cut line. And Chase Elliott rebounds to 22nd, but that's 2 finishes outside the top 20 for the number 1 playoff seed. And let's see what the effect is, and look at that. Oh my goodness, we're 14 above. Elliott out by 17 points going into Charlotte. Reddick out by 45. He has to win. Elliott has to win totally. Hamlin out by 8. Logano out by 2. Byron by 2 above. 6 above for Truex and Keselowski. It's going to get spicy in the elimination race at Charlotte. I'll see you guys there for the road course. Have a great day.